Hello. The Church's enduring principle, grace and generosity, states, God's grace, especially as revealed in Jesus Christ, is generous and unconditional. My experiences in the Africa-Haiti mission field caused me to reflect on this principle, especially where it goes on to state, having received God's generous grace, we respond generously and graciously receive the generosity of others. When visiting in congregations in Africa, I was always invited by the local people to share in a meal. For a while, this caused me a real concern, because what happened was I was invited away from the congregation, sometimes into a different room, and given food especially cooked for the guests, which was a better meal than the rest of the congregation were receiving. I felt really uncomfortable with this, as I did not want special treatment. I simply wanted to eat with the congregation and to eat what they were eating. However, I learned a very simple lesson, which was that I had to graciously receive whatever their gift for them to be able to generously give. We have received God's generous grace, and so we must respond generously, but also graciously receive the generosity of others. This truth was reinforced in my understanding a few months ago when I received a very special photograph. I received an email from my son, and attached to it were two photographs of my grandsons, Finn and Charlie. At the time of the photograph, Finn was 3.5 years old, and Charlie was around 18 months. It was a real joy to receive the photograph, as I don't get to see them very often, as I live in the United States and they live in Cardiff in South Wales in the United Kingdom. So any photograph or video I receive is really precious. The first photograph was in colour and shows the two of them sat side by side on a park bench, enjoying the sunshine. Charlie is just quietly sitting there, looking into the camera lens, and Finn by his side, head slightly tilted, enjoying eating an ice cream on a stick. But it was the second photograph in black and white that immediately touched me, caused me to smile, and brought tears to my eyes. For in this photograph, Finn, with ice cream around his mouth, has turned a little towards Charlie and is sharing his ice cream with him. Now, I don't know if Charlie had already eaten his ice cream or he had dropped it on the floor. That really is not important. But what is important is that Finn, in a moment of generosity, shares his ice cream with Charlie. In the instant the photograph records, we see what generosity is all about. It is about one who has sharing with one who does not. It is about one who has sharing with no expectation of receiving anything in return. But also, it is about the smile on the face of the one receiving as he graciously accepts the gift. It is about one who has received in the past, understanding generosity and passing it forward. The action of Finn and Charlie in the second photograph of sharing and receiving has had a profound impact on my life. I see the two photographs every day, as one is the home screen on my iPhone and the other is the home screen on my iPad. The photographs remind me daily that I have received God's generosity, that I need to respond generously, but also that I need to graciously receive the generosity of others for them to be allowed to show their generosity.